Hare Krishna, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Mukam Karoti Vachalam, Muklam Vedante. Yat Krupatam Ham Vande. Tarine. So we'll see verse number 18, continuing the description about demonic people. So yesterday's verse we saw that with money and pride, sometimes these people will do some charity or sacrifice, and then they think that, okay, now I am free of whatever wrongs I have done. So, continuing the same, what are other actions they are doing by this demonic nature? So, ahankaram balam darpam.
Ahankaram balam darpam.
Kamam krodham cha samshritaha.
Kamam krodham cha samsrita.
Mamatma paradeheshu.
Mamatma paradeheshu.
Prativashanto abhyasuyakaha.
Pradishantobhya suyakaha.
Okay.
Ahankaram balam darpam. Kamam krodham cha samsritaha. Mamatma paradeheshu. Pradishantobhya suyakaha.
Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham cha samshrita mamatma paradeheshu pradvishanto bhyasuyaka.
Okay, so translation and purport. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, anger, the demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is situated in their bodies and the body of others and blaspheme the real against the real religion. Purport. A demonic person being always against God's supremacy does not like to believe in the scripture. He is envious of both the scriptures and the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is caused by so-called prestige and the accumulation of wealth and strength. He does not know that present body is preparation for the next life. Not knowing this, he actually envious of his own self as well as others. He commits violence on other bodies and on his own. He does not care for supreme control of the personality of Godhead because he has no knowledge. Being envious of the scriptures and the supreme personality of Godhead, he puts forward false arguments against the existence of God and denies the spiritual authority. He thinks himself independent and powerful in inaction. He thinks that since no one can be equal to him in strength, power, and wealth, he can act in any way and no one can stop him. If he has an enemy who might check the advancement of the sensual activities, he makes a plan to cut him down by his own power. So again, the same point about the pride and ego coming from power and money. So because these demonic people who have so much pride and ego, they cannot see anyone to be controller. So like the God, they cannot see. It's difficult for them to accept the supremacy or the control of God. So they always, because they want to control all the things. So they also don't like the people who are surrendering. Mam Atma Paradeheshu. So as one meaning is okay in their own body and the body of others. So as a Paramatma, God is situated, but they don't respect it. So what they do? Pravattvashanti, they blaspheme, they criticize because of envy. So how the envy to the Supreme Lord is considered or can be seen is if somebody is surrendered to Lord, okay, who is a devotee, he is surrender and he is doing all the activities as per the direction of, say, for their example, their spiritual authority. So as per the direction of Krishna or his spiritual master or the seniors, then he is not in control of a person who is pride or who is in ego. Because in generally, we don't say like a devotee, oh, he's a great devotee, but he has pride. Or he is a pure devotee, but he has ahankar. Or he is not compassionate. There is no such combination. So when the devotee is there, or pure devotee is there, he is humble, he is compassionate, he is considerate to others. So that is the identification of devotee. So when this demonic mentality people see such a person who is um, following the spirituals, masters or seniors, then it's difficult for to digest them about that person because they are envious of that person. Why envy? Because they are not under the control of that person who is has a strength or who has power. So he is beyond their control. So when they see such a person, they start finding faults. They start finding uh, doing criticism to such a person or a devotee, and then they try to get rid of that person. And all this is happening because of their own ahankar. So first line, ahankaram balam darpam. So ahankar is false ego, balam is the strength, and darpam is the pride. So these three result in what? Kamam, krodham. Because of these three, they are lusty. Lusty is not just about um, feelings about the opposite sex, right? It's about having what somebody else has. I want to have it. So, and I want to have more and more. So that is lust. And krodham, anger. So because of ahankar, balam, and darpam, they get more lusty and they get more anger. And then they start envious and they become envious of the person who is beyond their control. They cannot see it. So this mentality can be easily observed in this Kali Yuga. Many people are like that. And it temporarily looks like these powerful people who have money or who have strength are more, how to say, more in control of the situation or people. Sometimes it look like that. But Krishna will tell in the next verses what happens with such people who have this mentality of controlling or not accepting the control of the Supreme Lord. So if you are actually, if we are envious or if we are angry about on some particular person, that time actually we are in ignorance. Why? Because we forget that in the body or in the heart of that same person, there is also super soul. But when we become envious of a particular person, actually we are envious of the Lord who is present as super soul in the body of that devotee. So this envy is against the Supreme Lord directly, coming from ignorance. So all the living beings have super soul. So we many times forget that and we act. So actually we cannot understand how a particular person is doing particular action. Sometimes we get surprised like how he acted like that. I don't know. It's generally is not like that, but he acted. So sometimes the situations are unknown to us, and we don't know the real reasons, and then we try to find out, but we cannot find out. But at the time, if we can understand the existence of the Supreme Lord, and there may be direction of the Supreme Lord to that person, then it becomes easier to digest the thing, even if it is against our expectation. So, because as super soul, he is directing everyone. No? Mam Atma Paradeheshu, in my body and the body of others, Paramatma is there. So we should be able to look equally based on the existence of Paramatma. But because of the three modes, we cannot. We hate people, we get angry on people, we get mean to the other peoples, because the temporary mode of ignorance covers up and we get angry, or we get lusty. So this nature, some people are always like this. They cannot see any good of anyone, and they become envious, and then they do activities to stop that person. So there are several stories in Bhagavatam also on this line, and mainly they are related to Indra. Indra, we see always he is um, creating problems for devotees who are doing his their bhakti. But that does not mean Indra is demonic. He is of course king of the devatas, but he gets envious, and then because of the envy, he can also commit the mistakes. So so that lesson is that even if you go to the higher planets, you are not fault free. You are going to commit mistakes, because material world has that quality. It will create mistake, will create problems for other. So this demonic mentality, um, blaspheming and criticizing others, is very has very negative effect on the bhakti, because we cannot see anything good in any situation or in any person. Even if somebody does a good thing, then the demonic person will try to find out fault in that. Even if it is good and correct, still they try to find fault and compensate. Okay, he has done this good activity, but at the same time he has done this 10 wrong activities. So this is the counter attack, right? He's doing some good things, but he's doing more bad things. So this mentality of finding the faults and criticizing is demonic. Krishna is saying, Mama Atma Paradeheshu Pratvishanto Pya Shuyakaha. So we become, at that time we should understand that, oh, now at this moment I am envious of the Supreme Lord because I am not able to accept the person. Of course, accepting a person depends on his own karma or his own behavior in the past. But if possible, we should be able to overcome that. But it's not generally seen because of modes. We are controlled by modes. So demonic mentalities sometimes come in devotees also when they do wrong things. But then when we understand that we are doing wrong things, then we have to correct ourselves. Why we have to correct ourselves? Because Krishna will tell that the persons who, because of ahankar, bala, or darpan, they act like this and they create problems for the devotees or the Supreme Lord in them, then there must be some punishment, right? Because Krishna said that among the um, corrective actions, I am the punishment. So punishment done to correct oneself. That is Krishna. So Krishna will give us the destination of these people with demonic nature. uh, and the reason for this is basically criticizing or being envious of the Supreme Lord or his devotees. Okay, so tomorrow we'll see. I think tomorrow's verse Krishna will tell the where these people go actually. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, thank you very much. So any comments, any questions or any comments or Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So tomorrow we'll see what is the destination of such people who become envious or who criticize others. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.